All right. I hope that helps you. My son lives in a townhouse and only has access to a second floor balcony. I'm thinking the only option is a mag loop, and even that may be a little bit sketchy. Your thoughts?
Sketchy as far as being visible that neighbors will see it, um, or there's just not a room, not enough room in the on the balcony for say like the ceiling above it. But it should be. I think that's a great antenna for a situation like that. And now if it becomes where it's a visible issue that someone sees it, but it could raise some questions. But I mean, a lot of people put some crazy stuff on their balconies, and I don't know if you know if people complain about it or not. I mean, from what I've seen driving around in my town and some of the stuff that the college kids put on their balconies in the
Right.
apartments, because we're in a college town here, and I don't ever hear about people complaining about it, but I don't see it. But yeah, I think it'll be fine. If it becomes a big eyesore, then maybe you might have to go a little more stealthy if that becomes the issue. So I'm a little taken back on, it may be a bit sketchy and
Well,
in what
Brad is here. I think this is Brad's question. I probably pulled that
sketchy. Oh, in performance.
in
Oh, okay.
performance.
Yeah, I, I've
I think the
heard,
only thing
from
performance wise, I think the only kind of pain is going to be the fact that you've got to tune every frequency with a
mhm.
magnet loop, and so that's kind of
That's the issue.
that's a different thing. But performance wise, you can still get
I think
100
they do
watts out
pretty
of these
good.
things. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've there've been performance wise, I think they do better than some of the other portable antennas, but they're so narrow as far as you got to get out there and tune them,
Right.
and if you have a way to remote tune them, that's even better. But
If you're
if you
chasing in
have
a
to,
contest, this probably isn't something that's
mhm.
going to put you over the top but it's not, again, it's not insurmountable. It's something you just have to get used to. You've got a little box you've got to kind of get to your sweet spot on that antenna. And
Well, it's like the isotron antenna. It's a pretty narrow antenna. It has its kind of its sweet spot, and then you gotta have to get out there and tune it. So I think the mag loop works really well, and I think it will do good. Performance wise, you're whether it's a mag loop or a couple of ham sticks and a dipole configuration on a balcony, you're gonna have some issues with the metal and around the structure there. But I think the mag loop is probably the easiest, the better performing of the two. But
they have commercial
your
models, and
mom.
you can also build those. And I think when you
Mhm.
get about 20 feet up in the air, you can take it from being the circle to being more of a more horizontal. So it's kind of pointing out this way. So aesthetically, that may be all right too. And performance wise, once you get up higher, you go from sitting it on a tripod in a big circle to being able to put it out more of a horizontal to do better. But I've known people that have done well. I've made contacts on one from the middle of the country to the East Coast, like up in the Northeast part. So it's possible. They're not cheap on the market, though. I mean, even MFJ
No.
has one, and it's at least I think $600. So it depends if you want to build it, if you're handy, but it'll work. That's the kind of thing is it'll work.
It'll definitely work. It'll go.
I hope that helps. If you have a question, put a Q in front of it here in our chat. We have a couple coming in. We'll get to those. Let's get the ones that we didn't
Well,
get to last week. Oh, what'd you got? What'd you got?
well, a whip clamp to the railing would be, will work too. So yeah, that's another option. So I mean, there's plenty of options there for second floor balconies, and like I said, you can go with they make a mount. MFJ makes a mount where you can take two ham sticks, and it basically makes it a dipole for that band. So if you want to operate on 20 meters, you get a couple of 20-meter ham sticks and screw them into the mount, and away you go. So there's a lot of options out there, or just clamp a single hamstick, or then there's also another mount that you can clamp, like it has attachments for five, so you can clamp
Right. The
that and then have
octopus or
five
whatever they
different
call it. Mm-hmm.
a porcupine of of multi-band antennas.
I spoke to
So
Brad a little bit about this, and I think the concern is one of the concerns was the price point of that antenna. The market on the
mhm,
market, you're looking at about 5 or 600. I know now that we know it's Brad's question that his son's studying, and you could be off-putting to think that your first antenna needs to be $500 to $600, and that's all true. But I like
mhm.
this little hamstick idea too because that's no. I mean, what is it? $20 for a hamstick? The mount might
20 to
cost you more.
$40, yeah.
The mount probably costs more. The actual teeth that grab onto whatever, that mount actually probably costs more than the antennas
Mhm,
itself. And it might be a little pain to change them out, but that's a lot cheaper. You're talking several $100s cheaper just to try it. So if you can work the angle that, like, hey, let's see if this works. Let's see if we can actually make a contact. Then, Brad, you can take and set up in our Discord some people to listen for you and make the contact happen, where it's
mhm,
kind of cool and just take the approach of like, hey, man, let's just see if we can take this really weird thing and put it into this mountain and see if what we can do with it, and take that kind of different approach. So you're not like, we're gonna work the world on this. It's like, let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can hit a different state, you know, and then use the community to kind of set those up. I kind of like that idea than going full $600 into that mag loop. For complete episodes, subscribe where you get podcasts and click the bell here on YouTube for features and live streams.